This is Can't Sue Us.
Cancel Us. And we are coming to you live from Elm Street. Right, Freddie? Did he say who? That's Dracula. That's Dracula. Yeah.
He's a
Wait, is it? Or is it a... Yeah, it's Dracula. Dracula goes, ho, 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 I think.
What is Freddy?
Because he's like this.
Can you hear me?
Freddie just curses, I think.
Oh, yeah?
No, or he just says like really...
Transformation. That was smooth, right?
Oh! Freddie says like those little quips. He has like little quips.
Little what?
Like quips.
What's that?
Like little one-liners.
Oh.
You know, like...
Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah, like, oh... Take my wife, please. But, you know, Freddie's not making jokes. He's like...
I was watching him. I was watching for a little bit. I went down that rabbit hole.
Rodney Dangerfield?
Yeah.
Wait, there's a rabbit hole? Oh, don't
not a true rabbit hole, but like you just keep going and going and going, finding more information on it. Like, but it was minor. It wasn't like these like conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Where you can really go down and be stuck there for a little bit.
You know who has some really good ones that were on comedians? Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
Like,
you know,
lot.
You know when Biggie says, I admit my first thought was a trip. You look so good. I was sucking your daddy's dick.
I don't.
He got that from Richard Pryor.
I don't know that. What song is that?
Me and my bitch.
Yep, that's all.
Me and my bitch. That's so appropriate.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he got that from Richard Pryor.
Well, Richard Pryor was really like kind of filthy, you know.
Yeah, I like him. He's one of my top fives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Eddie Murphy, obviously, right, is probably in there.
Of course.
Who else is rounding out your top 5 comedians?
Dave Chappelle.
Yes.
There's a lot.
Well, you said top 5.
I know, but there's a lot.
Do they change depending on who dropped a special?
Kinda.
I can see that.
Yeah.
You know who I like a lot? Who I think is really funny and like people think he's underrated.
Smart.
Oh.
All right.
Okay. What's his name? He does those like things on like I guess maybe TikTok, but I see him on Instagram where he's like, do you have this in aisle, whatever? And then he like has that music playing in the background. He talks about like, no, we don't do that stuff. Scott Weiss. That's his name. Shout out to Scott Weiss. I think he's hilarious. He's a little Instagram comedian. Not a little Instagram comedian. He's a bigger Instagram guy. I'm just going to stop because I belittled him a little bit. But I mean, because he's on Instagram. He doesn't have like a special. You wouldn't know who he is what I'm saying anyway. What?
You're just gonna be whispering.
Don't say that. Sorry, that was between Freddy and Tina. So, why are we in costume?
We're in costume because it's Halloween month.
It's Halloween month, and we have something special.
You have something special.
We
have something special. I am going to introduce you to.
What do we call it?
Tina's story.
Oh.
You like that?
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't know.
But it's really like mine. Okay, so guys.
Fun story.
Yeah, fun fact about me. I grew up in like a haunted house my whole life. So I have nothing but scary story. No, my whole life.
Up to now?
Yeah, I told you there's paranormal stuff that's happened here.
In here?
Yeah. Do you want me to tell you about that?
Imagine we just start going.
Okay, I'll tell you right now.
Wrapping the cord up. We out of here.
So, one of the things that happened here, I think I shared this with you guys. It was the first summer we lived here 10 years ago. We have a den downstairs. The girls really liked sleeping in the den that summer. And I was working from home. I was in my kitchen doing the dishes, and I heard somebody crying. So I turn the water off. I go downstairs. My kids are asleep. So, okay, no big deal. I hear the crying again. So I call the neighbor, like, hey, are kids outside? Like, is, one of the kids crying? And she's like, no, my kids are inside. So I'm like, all right. Doing the dishes again. Now the crying is, like, getting louder and louder. And now it sounds like my youngest at the time. So I'm like, okay, turn the water off. Let me go downstairs. I'm like, Myri, what's wrong? I flipped the light on. And it was like, I heard the sound as I was approaching the den door. And as soon as I put the light on, they were asleep. There was nothing. It was like crickets.
They were fucking with you.
No, they weren't.
I know,
they weren't. And it just, I stood there. It felt like everything like kind of caved in all at once. It was so weird. I chucked it up to whatever. A little bit after that, I was driving home. It was a night like tonight, dark. I was coming home from work, and it was already dark outside. But as I'm driving down our lane, I see this figure, and he was just like all black. Like
Slenderman?
I don't know what Slender Man
I
looks like.
don't know, that long, slinky.
No, like a shadow person. Yeah, shadow. They're just like really dark. Like it's like I imagine what a black hole would look like, right? And I saw it come out of my neighbor's yard. I'm driving down. I just stop immediately because I'm like, oh my God, this thing's going to appear in my car. Like, this thing's going to be in my car. And so I'm just like pretending that I'm not there. Like, I'm like, God, please don't let this thing see me, you know? And it walks down my neighbor's yard in front of my car, stops. And at that moment, I thought it was going to be like transport into my car or like somehow like appear and I was going to die or something. But it didn't. It just like stopped. And I don't know if it looked at, it was all black. I don't know what it was. And then it paused and I froze like this. And I mean, I'm like squeezing the steering wheel and it just walked through my driveway, then down our hill through my other neighbor's yard. And
Can I ask you a question?
then I didn't see anything else. Yeah.
Scary moments. Do you freeze?
A little bit. Yeah.
A little bit or a lot?
A lot of
Sounds
it.
like a lot of it.
A lot of it. I mean, what would you do? Well, you ran away like that time at my house.
Mine is always on the next, like, okay, we gotta do something.
Like that time you ran away. What'd you do?
I didn't run away with it.
You did. Back in the day, when we were much younger and we only had one child each, we were having a little party at my parents' house, and
we're gonna edit this story.
No, we're not.
Oh no, I will.
No, don't edit it because
no. Tell the story. We're gonna do a live edit. Go ahead.
We're not gonna do a live edit.
Yeah, tell the story.
We were chilling outside, having a good old time. Our babies were inside. His oldest baby was in my mom's room, which was all the way up in the back, on the bed. And my baby was in another room. And baby's mom goes upstairs to check on baby. And baby is not in the bed at all. Baby is like by the staircase. Looking like, first of all, who took the baby out of the bed? Like, who took this baby and put the baby here? And like, how did that happen? Nobody, it was just us four. Nobody had gone in our house. And then as soon as that happened, you guys got your baby and you packed everything up and you left like so fast. I didn't even have a chance to say bye.
No, we were sleeping, and
Wasn't sleeping.
I was laying down on the floor sleeping in the room with Lewis. Oh, I'm sorry, I dropped a name. I wasn't supposed to. But my child, we're gonna edit that. We're gonna go boop. My child was sleeping in the same room with me and the mom. Or I don't think the mom was there.
No, because we were outside.
No. This is when we went to bed. That's the thing.
Oh, the other part. Okay. I know the first part.
And that's why we're
okay,
edit the story because it's,
Tell me your part.
Okay, I'm telling you the truth. That's what I'm going to tell you.
I'm telling you what we saw.
No, it's not what you saw. I
I saw y'all run out my mom's house.
You did not see us because you were in your room.
When we were outside, okay, then this must be two separate times. Because when we were outside, from my perspective, what I'm saying is we were all outside and
indulging
your
in
child
adult stuff.
Indulging in adult stuff, yes.
We were drinking and smoking.
Oh my gosh. Snitch.
We're adults. I pay bills and taxes. I can say whatever the fuck I want to say.
We were paying bills and taxes then too.
Oh, well, we weren't of age to be doing what we were doing.
Are you done?
Good.
Are you saying that's why y'all, like, anyway. So,
Huh?
She went upstairs. She went in, do you remember? And freaked out. And that's when I remember you guys leaving. I don't remember you guys leaving in the middle of the night.
We left at night. I'm sleeping. Lewis was sleeping. And we left the playpen there and everything. But
you guys
I'm
did
sleeping
leave that.
And something kept bothering me. Stop. You wouldn't. All right, I'm getting out of here. I want to go to bed. I picked my son up and we left. I didn't see anything. So, again, I don't believe in that stuff.
So then what was bothering you and why'd you take your son and leave?
Because I was trying to sleep and people kept fucking with me.
Whose people?
I don't fucking know. I was sleeping.
There was no people there, though. That's my point. We were outside. There was no people there. My mom's house has a history of being haunted. It's actually like nobody, since my mom has sold that house, it's had a couple of owners. And my mom felt really guilty about selling the house.
They need to break.
And wanted to go back and make peace with the people she sold it to let them know, like, hey, by the way, like, oops, it was haunted. And but when she got there, they already told her. They were like, we know, like, sis, we know.
You think the ghost is gonna say, all right, we're good? He's a ghost for life.
So actually, we had multiple. So when we first lived in that house, the first entity we saw wasn't really an entity at all. It wasn't. Well, that was the one house. Every house we've lived in has been haunted, like certifiably
you guys look
haunted.
Out. You search for haunted houses.
I was a kid. I don't know.
On the market.
I don't think this house is haunted. I think there's just some energy that sometimes gets displaced. Like,
Might not be the house.
I know.
Yikes.
I know what you're saying. I know. I've been to spiritual people my whole life because my mom thought that it was me somehow, like manifesting these things. It wasn't. No, everybody she's taking me to, like when I was a kid, she took me like I think one or two, and those religious people were like, no, it's not her. So, but I'm pretty good. My mom's house is haunted now. My parents' house, not the house we're talking about. Their house since then.
So is your mom? That's what it sounds like.
A little bit, yeah. I think my mom's a haunted person. I think she thinks she's a haunted person. My mom would love to come on the podcast and tell her stories. My mom has some crazy things that she's like experienced by herself, like without me and my brother. But when we first moved in that house, we had learned that the previous owner was.
Sorry, go ahead.
When the producers are like.
They're
Come
supposed
on,
to be
guys.
producing.
You're supposed to be producing.
Come on. Lead by example.
We're discussing.
We're discussing stuff.
So, when we first moved in.
Come on, guys. The fuck? Go ahead. I had to speak to them.
Yeah, but
as
now you
producers.
used one.
He's on like his 10th right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't been catching them.
Are you serious? I wasn't paying attention.
Oh my god. You give your.
Go. Come
Anyway,
on, let's don't
we
shine.
found out that the previous owner had
Ghost.
committed
Suicide.
suicide. He unalived himself. That's what he said.
Unalived
He
himself.
unalived himself because he was facing an amputee. He was going to be an amputee. He was going to get something amputated.
What, a toe?
No, I don't know. But so when we first moved in, I would see this guy, right? And I thought like, wow, that's crazy. Like here we are in a new house.
Did you see him?
Yes.
How fast was he moving?
He was. Okay.
Oh, he wasn't. He didn't have his leg amputated yet.
He
That's what I'm
wasn't
trying to
moving.
say.
He would just be still, right? So
He can't move. They cut both his legs.
No, because the one time I saw him, where I actually admitted it to somebody, I was on the phone with a friend of mine, Sean, and I'm laying on the floor. You know, when you're a kid, you're on the floor, you're on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
This is back in the 90s, so it's a landline. I'm stuck on the floor on the phone. So I'm like, like shooting the shit, and I like turn over and I see these black boots, and I'm just like, oh fuck, and I like look up and I see his name was Earl, and I'll tell you how we know that. So I see Earl. I don't know that at the time, but I turn around again and I'm on the phone. I'm like, Sean, did you ever think you saw something that you didn't see? Like I'm freaking out. And us being like, as smart as we are, Sean like totally explains it away. And he's just like, no, because, the reflection of the TV and the light. And he just like made it sound so like,
hello.
So I was like, oh yeah, duh, of course, Sean, like it's physics or whatever. So I don't say anything. Later that night, I'm in bed. Dude's at my door. I'm like, all right, you don't bother me, I won't bother you. But my dog was terrified. My dog was terrified. He would not sleep downstairs. We would hear knocking on the back door. And we would literally be in the kitchen where our back door was. Our dog would be going crazy and there would be nobody there. Like we'd be looking at it like, oh my God, there's nobody here. Like what is knocking?
Do you think that ghost did something to that dog?
No. So we go upstairs. We couldn't, I don't know how it happened that we get up to the attic because we hadn't been in the attic before that time. So maybe at this point we're there like a month or two. And we get up to the attic. And there's a box left up there. My mom grabs it and we see his picture. And that's when I'm like, hey, I've been seeing him. And then my mom is like, I've been seeing him. And my brother was seeing him too. I was 14. So my brother had been saying he was seeing things. And the kids in the neighborhood were telling my brother things. But, we didn't really know until then. And we lived in harmony with Mr. We found out Muscleman. Yeah.
Muscleman?
Earl Muscleman was that.
Did he
his
look
name.
strong?
He did.
Hey.
He did. He was an army guy. We saw his army photo. And we lived in harmony with him for a long time. We're like, we didn't mess with him. He didn't really mess with us. We would see him.
Hey,
but
was he white?
Yeah.
All ghosts are white for some fucking reason.
No, not that. He was. Yeah, okay. Anyway, it wasn't until then. Now, I don't know how this transpires, but my mom decided to have somebody, I believe, send him home. And that's when all hell broke loose.
Send who home?
Mr. Muscleman.
So, before he died? Or
like, like, hey, you're displaced. Somebody told her that he was a displaced spirit or something. He needed to go to the other side. I don't know how it. I remember it, but I don't remember it.
Like, was hell. He was like, I ain't going through that door.
So
I'm just like, you
no.
You gotta go through that door to finish your, To
after that situation, that was the last time we saw Mr. Muscleman.
He was in purgatory.
And then after that, it was nothing but poltergeist.
Maybe he was the protector of the house.
Yes, we decided that.
What you mean decided it? But he was
after
with your dog.
No, my dog, he wasn't messing with my dog until my dog would just go crazy because he could sense him, but we couldn't. Like, he was just learning. Once we were cool and we were like, yeah, we see him. My dog's name was Bone. Bone was like, okay. Like, he learned when Mr. Muscleman.
Sounds like a sitcom.
I'm assuming crossed over. Yeah. Whatever took its place was violent and terrifying. And I don't just have stories about that violence and what happened at our house, but like friends have stories. My brother and his friends have stories. My mom and her friends have stories. Like, a lot of things happened in that house.
After Elderman, what's his name? Muscle Man left. Yo, Muscle Man from regular show.
Well. Sounds like someone needs some supervision. You know who else needs supervision? My mom!
Your mom? No, but is he did all the bad things, all the stories that you guys have, the bad things. Yeah. Was it after he left?
It was after. It was after.
Y'all kicked your own good spirit out.
Yes, yes.
How'd y'all kick him out again?
I don't know what my mom, and I don't know if it was her cousin who did it or a friend. I don't know what they did, but they did something, and there was like no more.
Did you guys ever watch a movie together and he just sat and watched it with y'all?
No, but he would just like be around, mostly by where he committed suicide, or unalived himself.
When he punched his clock out. Can you say that?
I mean, yeah, I guess, but I don't. That's insensitive.
Yeah, no, like the clock.
I mean, punched out.
Punched out. Yeah, he punched his clock out.
He took his life by,
arrow, bow and arrow.
Yeah. It was right outside the kitchen, and the bullet went through the awning that we had out there, and it was right on the porch there. So where he would knock was where the.
Wait, so he died in the living room?
No, right outside the kitchen. The first real like violent situation to happen was in 1997. My mom was at work. It was summertime. I want to say it was July. I had my friends over. And I just remember like feeling so cool because we were drinking coffee, sitting in my kitchen watching TV. We were watching Jenny Jones, an old talk show, and it was about fat women who wear tiny clothes. And it was just, and I don't know, I just remember like looking at the table, and my friends were around the table, my brother's laying in the kitchen watching it, and just feeling like, wow, we're so cool. Look at us, like almost adults drinking coffee. And it was like, as soon as I had that thought, we heard this loud like explosion. Yeah. So in my kitchen, the way the setup was you had the back door into the kitchen. There was like like the cutout where you could see into the dining room, and through the dining room you could see into the living room, and we had a really large bay window in the living room, so you could see directly out into the street. So we all jump up from the table thinking that something, I thought somebody's car exploded outside, like in the street. Mm-hmm. So we jump up, we're all looking, and it was like so surreal because we all kind of like turned around at the same time, and the glass from the oven was levitating, right? Like as if somebody was holding it like this. And we all kind of just like I'm looking around like, am I the only person who sees this? Like, oh my God, am I like crazy? And everybody's just, so my brother and the two guys that were there, I don't even know where they went. Like, they just like disappeared. They ran out the front door like they were gone.
Were they black and Spanish?
They were, yes.
Yeah, so we're gonna say, hey, what's going on, buddy?
They didn't see
what happened around this.
Because what happened was they ran before the big thing. So this glass is levitating, right? It's levitating. It's up. It's above. Like, it's just crazy, the sight. And it was just as if somebody just took it and just smashed it on the ground. And my brother, the guys leave. My friend, Rochelle, I love her so much. We'll have to have her on to tell her side of it. She runs upstairs for whatever reason. And I'm just like, what the? Like, I gotta go save her now.
She should have ran out the house.
Because when we heard a ruckus upstairs at the same time that this is all happening. Everything is displaced upstairs. Things that were in my room are in my brother's. My brother's stuff is in the hall. Like, it was just everywhere. So we get out, we're like freaking out, and she runs down the stairs. Now, the way the stairs were, the staircase came into the dining room, almost like your old house. For reference, like how it comes right, like it turns there. Platform and a staircase. So as she gets to the platform, she freezes. And I ran into her like, we got to get the hell out of here. Like, there's something upstairs. Like, I don't. And she's like stopped around the corner, and the glass had broke into like really big pieces. I remember that because I like, as I went upstairs, I had to walk past it. I was like puzzled by it, right? Because it was like really particular. So anyway, as we're coming downstairs and we're trying to leave out of the door, she freezes, and I like run into her and I look, and it was like something with hooves was walking in the glass and breaking it, because the glass was breaking like in a footstep pattern. And it was like popping up, right? Like, so we run. I know it sounds unbelievable, but it's true. So we run. We end up running to this guy's house. I call my grandmother. I call my mom at work. I'm like freaking out. I'm crying. I have to find my brother. My brother's at the time like 10.
So where did he go? When this happened, how long after did you guys move?
My mom didn't leave until for another 6 years. She stayed like that. And it escalated every year after that. We had the gas company come out because my mom was certain that we did something, which, yes, as a parent, I too wouldn't believe my kid if they said the oven glass levitated and broke. Especially when that kid had mad people over drinking coffee, thinking they were grown, watching Jenny Jones. But my mom's friends also witnessed the glass popping off the ground, so they knew something was messed up. We called the local gas company here to come out. The guy was in and out, and I want to say 15 minutes. And he was just like, I can't explain it. I don't know why. Here's your new glass. Like, replace it and got the fuck. Like, he couldn't explain it. Nobody could.
What a pussy.
And
get your job done.
That same thing ended up happening to my mom when she was alone 4 years later.
Baby.
So.
And that's your story.
One of them.
One of many.
Yeah. So, more to come.
More to come.
I mean, I could tell scary stories.
I'll be sitting here listening because I don't have no scary story. Well, I got a couple, and they're real life stories. It's not like...
This was a real life story.
No, I don't mean like that. I mean like you know, I got this bill. You better pay this or else... Oh my God! And then you freak out because you gotta...
Don't discount my experience.
I'm not discounting. Like I said, I don't have any scary movie. My version of a scary... I don't have a scary movie. Jesus.
See?
I don't have a scary... I don't... Never had no paranormal. But I had scary situations, you know.
Bills are scary.
All
right, and that was Cancel Us.
Like, subscribe, comment, share. Is that everything?
All the things.
All the things.
All the things.
And then...
Bye.